Daniel Bryan has reportedly signed with AEW. Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net reports Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, is locked in and 100% signed to a contract with AEW. Haynes also reports that Bryan was wanting to work less dates for comparable money, and he wanted the ability to be able to work in Japan and wanted to have creative input on his character, which he allegedly got. Haynes goes on to report that the plans creatively are for Bryan to debut at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City on September 22nd. This would be AEW's first show in New York and their second in the tri-state area. Haynes further reported that Bryan's debut was being saved for that show in order to wrap up plans AEW had leading into the All Out pay-per-view. However, he further notes that plans could be changed, citing reports of AEW's talks with CM Punk as potentially moving up or back Bryan's debut, but we'll get to more CM Punk news in a minute. Now, other reliable wrestling news sources have not confirmed the contents of this report. At this time, PW Insider reported on July 20th, Bryan was not listed on the internal plans for WWE merchandising and licensing for 2021 into 2022. Bryan was last seen on WWE SmackDown. Daniel Bryan's contract with WWE expired a few days after his match with Roman Reigns on the April 30th episode of WWE SmackDown. As per the stipulation of the match, Bryan was banished from SmackDown after losing to Roman Reigns. There was some fan speculation on Bryan possibly returning to WWE last month after he was name-dropped on SmackDown, but that was just for the build to the Money in the Bank match between WWE Hall of Famer Edge and Universal Champion Roman Reigns. That wasn't a sign that he was returning. Along with main eventing the April 30th episode of SmackDown against Reigns, Bryan also main evented WrestleMania 37 in a triple threat match with Reigns and Edge. Bryan is a former 4-time WWE Champion. He has not wrestled outside of WWE since 2010. Bryan has made no public statements since becoming a free agent. Now news on CM Punk. We haven't seen CM Punk in a wrestling ring since the 2014 WWE Royal Rumble match, as he would walk out of the company following the pay-per-view. He later revealed that he was suspended for 2 months for walking out, and that WWE sent him his termination papers on his wedding day later that year. There was a rumored appearance back in 2019 that saw a masked man help Ace Steel win his match after hitting his opponent with the GTS. Nothing was confirmed by Punk, but his appearance was implied by Silas Young, the owner of the promotion. Despite a couple rumored independent wrestling appearances since his WWE retirement and a brief run with the UFC, we haven't seen much from CM Punk since his wrestling departure nearly 8 years ago, but that sounds like it could be changing. According to a report via Fightful.com, CM Punk has been in talks for a return to professional wrestling. The report stated that they learned last week that CM Punk had been in talks to make a return to pro wrestling as an in-ring performer. Sources indicated to them that AEW is the most likely candidate to land the former WWE Champion. It was added that Punk has had ongoing conversations with a company official in AEW, but that there has been no confirmation on any type of contract being signed, a timetable, set return date, or any creative plans for Punk as of now. It was also noted that, as with any negotiations, nothing is fully confirmed until the deal is actually done and the subject appears on the screen. There has also been rumblings that other companies have had an interest in CM Punk coming to work for them, but there has been no specific offers made to him. In addition, it was reported that within recent days, higher-ups in WWE have told Fightful.com that they believe CM Punk is heading to AEW. So rumors are flying. 2 of the greatest to do it in professional wrestling may return, and may return to the same promotion, that being All Elite Wrestling, AEW. Now, every other day we hear CM Punk rumors, it seems. Is CM Punk in the mindset, that mindset that I don't want to have any regrets in life, I'm only getting older, because if he's in that mindset, then, a return is definitely inevitable and will happen. I do know he's been in various movies, and we all know his MMA career was short-lived, which, side note, I don't care about. He's a professional wrestler. He's not a mixed martial art fighter. The fact that he even got in that octagon says a lot. and most criticizing him would never step foot in that octagon, and would probably last half a millisecond in there if they did. So I don't care about all that. I'm just curious, is he content or is he not content in life? And that goes for Daniel Bryan as well. Or maybe we should start calling him Bryan Danielson. Hey, if there's a glimmer of hope, I am all for it. CM Punk may have not had the greatest run in MMA, but he was one of the best in professional wrestling, and that's a fact. Moveset, agility, ring safety. I mean, I never heard anyone he worked with got hurt or anything. I know he got hurt, Ryback, etc. And of course his promo skills, top notch. And Daniel Bryan as well. That Daniel Bryan Planet's Champion, the crazed vegan run, super underrated. And I'm just curious, will this be one of those rare times that WWE keels over because the wind was knocked out of them so hard by these potential acquisitions? I mean, that's a gut punch and a black eye. I'm sorry, but again, if you don't understand what you have in front of you, or you constantly deny or shit on greatness in front of you, then hey, the only person you can blame for the consequences of that behavior is yourself. But again, a lot of this is rumor and innuendo floating around in the wrestling atmosphere, as we don't have more confirmed sources on the returns. But regardless, are you here for it? This is Side Note Styles, CJ Styles. Let us know what's on your mind in the comment section below. Subscribe, like, and share, and stay tuned for more from Side Note Suplex.